Welcome back to Outlaw Radio. We had a slight issue with a copyright infringement because I used some Richie Rich. Do G's get to go to heaven in the beginning of the show? So they blocked my shit, but they let me know real quick. No, nigga, you will not be doing this today. So we're back live. Tell a friend and tell a friend. The show's back on live. I was wondering because I was sharing the show and I'm like, why the fuck is one person? I just thought it was a slow night, right? Like I didn't know, man. But welcome back to the show. It's still myself and the ghetto witch doctor and my sister Courtney. Y'all say what's up to the people with our blocked asses.
All right, all right, all right. What's happening, everybody?
Hey y'all, we back.
Right. But it's Outlaw Radio, man. It takes two. I don't even got to go through the formalities. I can get back right into the conversation I was having before. Once again, if you was looking for the show and you're like, what happened? It was blocked because of a copyright issue with the music that I played in the beginning. You can't be taking people's shit like that, right? But so we were talking about It Takes Two, which is kind of the theme of the show tonight, because I was saying I feel like black people play the blame game too much. And I feel like we get so busy blaming other people that we forget about our own shit. I keep saying I need for black people to own their shit, right? Enough excuses. I listen, I get it. I get it. I feel like some shit is that we understand, right? Like we understand the history that we have in this country. We understand we came from, we're descendants of slaves. We understand that. We understand for a very long time black people were oppressed and discriminated against and segregated and treated like shit and like fourth and fifth class citizens. We understand that. But within that understanding, there should be some motivation to do something different and do better, instead of doing the same shit over and over and still saying, well, they got us down because we used to be slaves, because you know how they used to treat us. I get it. I get it. I understand the game is rigged, but it should not be an excuse for you to try or not try to succeed or be positive or have integrity or to move with some sort of class. And that shouldn't be your excuse. So I guess I'm over it, right? Like, because you keep saying it's somebody else, it's you. You the common denominator in all these fucking problems, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying us. I should say we, not you. Us, me. I'm included too. I don't want to shit on nobody. What y'all think about that, man? It takes two. Courtney, I know you said before it take one motherfucker to burn up a pot of rice, and you were exactly right.
Yes.
But overall, it's still the concept of what needs to be done in terms of accountability. I guess that's what I want to talk about tonight, accountability.
And we talking about black folks being accountable for our shit and shit being fucked up.
Yes. What part do we play in our
own motherfucking white folks' fault? What you mean, Kev? No, it's their motherfucking fault. But we go back through history, back to slavery, back to Black Panthers, back to crack, back to welfare, back to the fucking Constitution that needs to be rewritten. Everything is against us. I mean, we could try for sure. For sure, black folks, we could try because we could do some shit and we can be successful. But for the most part, oh yeah, shit is definitely against us. Yes, and it's their fault, not our fault. It's their fault. Our fault for falling for it. Our fault for not having a motherfucking revolution way back when, so we could have changed this shit. It's too late for a revolution. We gonna lose. But
I heard you say two different things. I heard you say it's all their fault. Then I heard you say it was our fault. So it sounded like you said, it takes two, right? Like it sounded like that's what I heard you say. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, look. It's our fault back in the day for not having a revolution. After we decided not to have no revolution, back when we had like this space and time where we could have. Now, no, we can't. So back then it was our fault. Now we just, it's their fault now. They didn't put us in these circumstances that we just can't motherfucking fix. And they wonder why everybody fucked up. You gave us these fucked up circumstances to create these fucked up ass people. Now you're like, oh no, what happened? Y'all happened. Shit. You know this.
Okay. Kamar, where you at with this?
I think, I say it all the time, man. You know what I mean? I think we at a point where we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap. We need to work on ourselves. So, you know what I mean? As far as accountability, we need to hold ourselves accountable for what we know that's fucked up already. For what we know our people done been through. You know what I mean? We need to hold ourselves accountable and learn something different. Do something different now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. It was their fault. White people did start a whole bunch of bullshit back in the day. You know what I mean? And that was fucked up. It really was. And they still doing a whole bunch of fucked up shit now. But even still, it's like, what do we do from here? You know what I'm saying? What can I do right now to improve my situation? You dig what I'm saying? It's first things first. You know what I mean? We start with ourselves, and that's holding ourselves accountable for continuing to live with this shit. Remember when Kanye said, it was slavery was a choice? Well, I think being taken into bondage wasn't a choice, but to remain a slave, you know what I mean, is. Like right now, a lot of people will say we mental slaves now. It's mental slavery going on now. Well, since we know it, we can choose not to be. We can learn how not to be. You know what I mean? So I think now it's about holding ourselves accountable and learning what to do now from this point on.
Okay. I hear both of you, and everybody has a perspective. That's why I decided to have this conversation. Ernest Walker says, "Stop stealing." You're right. Well, to me, it was homage. I don't know if it was stealing. I wasn't gonna make no money off of it, but whatever. But so okay, I hear Courtney about the white people thing, and that's why I say there is a lot of facts that you just spit a lot of facts. It's a lot of truth to a lot of shit you said. Because first of all, we all know. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Historically, the white man has been the lightning rod for evil on this planet, not just in Africa, but everywhere they went. We know that. We know that. And so what I'm saying is, with this thing that's been going on and over our heads for hundreds of years, we're still falling for whatever traps and booby traps he sets. And I'm saying, what part of this do we play in our own demise? Ewok, go ahead. I got you loud and clear. Turn down your device, though, so we won't get an echo.
You shouldn't be getting one. I'm in my hiding spot already. You still getting it?
No, you all gravy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to say, man, one of my favorite movies of all time is Soldier Story. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least two of y'all seen it before. Sergeant Waters, didn't nobody like Sergeant Waters? He was that black dude that got there, you know what I'm saying, that everybody hated and shit. But it was one thing he said in the movie, man. He said, not having is no excuse for not getting. If he ain't never said nothing that made perfect sense to me, and I realized what he meant, because that movie is old as hell shit. That's like Denzel Washington first movie type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not having is no excuse for not getting. So I understand exactly what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? We already know what was and how we got where we is. Shit. We can't sit around all day talking about some, well, woe is me, we can't do nothing. Yeah, that's some bullshit excuse shit right there. So I'm on the same team with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get definitely. You know, that's the point I was trying to make, man. It's a little harder. You got to do a little bit better, but you can get it though.
Right. I that's what I'm saying. Listen, I don't want anybody to think that I'm delusional, right? Like, so I don't want anybody out there believing, what is Kev talking about? Like the white man ain't been a cold-blooded son bitch on our back for 400 years. I totally understand all of that. I'm not lost by none of that. But what I'm saying is we keep walking around spitting cliches at each other. And a lot of times I hear brothers and sisters say, you know what to call a motherfucker who keep doing the same thing over and over? Insane. And I say, well, we all fucking insane. Then my people are insane because we've been doing the same shit for just say the last 100 years in our community. Now, if you out there and you older than me, I don't want you to call in and say, back in my day, the good old days. I always ask older people, what good old days are you referencing? The ones when you couldn't go in certain bathrooms, when you couldn't drink out of water bubblers, when here in Milwaukee you couldn't move above Walnut. Yeah, but we was together in our community. You talking about that community that was super, super broke, that was really, really leaning on pennies. You needed each other to make it. You had to share what you had. You talking about those good old days? I don't know. Right. That's what I'm saying. What are we talking about here? When has there ever been a good old days for us to draw upon and say, you know what?
Because after the Rosewoods and the Black Wall Streets, you know what I'm saying? I'm using it plural because, you know, it's more than one. Those are the ones that we mostly recognize. But you know what I'm saying? Black people been functioning, doing stuff for a long time. Our mistake was not getting prepared and ready for their ass the next time when that shit happened the first time. You know what I'm saying? That's part of our problem too. Shit, be the fuck ready.
So let me stay on code. For clarity purposes, Ernest, what I believe you're saying is that you agree that some of this shit is our own self-inflicted wounds.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
That's it. And that's the part I want to do something about. Right? Like, cause you can't complain. You can't complain about somebody fucking you over when your shit ain't together on your end. You stealing from him, but you accusing him of stealing from you. Both of y'all stealing. You know what I mean? So
And
it's like,
you know what I'm saying? You gonna ride your 80 years if you get lucky, talking about what they owe us, so I ain't gonna do nothing. Nah, you can't live your life like that, man. You know, you gotta do for yourself. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I didn't call the contrast nothing, y'all saying.
Appreciate it,
damn
man.
right. You got to do what you got to do.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, 100.
Man, peace and love, Ewok.
Peace.
We should have had a revolution though. Back in the day, I just don't. And that's the thing with black folks. To me, I think I was telling my mama this. It's like black folks act like we want to rise up and shit. And we always need a leader because we ain't just gonna do it ourselves and shit. You know, we get a leader, we get to rising up. As soon as they get killed, we like up. Well, yeah, and they just go back to doing what the fuck we was doing. Niggas don't just keep rising up; they just go back down. And that be it until we get another leader. You know, then we might rise up again. Then they get killed, and it's like up.
You know,
I guess we'll just go back to what the fuck we was doing.
Once again, when we start leaning on history, and we like to say it's very true. And first of all, I agree. When there has been a black man who represented leadership, a black man who could bring us together and really have us unified under at least a great amount of us, because nobody will ever get all of us together. That man has been ostracized. That man has been killed. That man has been assassinated. But guess what? White leaders who've stepped outside the box and attempted to do that have been murdered as well. Right? I believe John Kennedy got his.
Well, it's because I think it don't matter what color you is. If you're going against the system, they ain't with you. They ain't with you.
Okay. So then that should remove that excuse. That's gonna keep me from saying, well, I ain't gonna try to lead because I don't want to get killed. You know how they do black people. Like we always attach that to it. Like it's just like we limit ourselves.
No, I think the fact that we don't keep it going is my issue. Like I said, to take a leader, them motherfuckers get killed, and everybody just stop. Niggas just stop.
I think this one of the areas where religion fucked us up.
Okay.
Because God is looking outside for help. We looking for leaders. We need a leader. We need somebody to do this. We need, you know what I'm saying? So we get used to looking for leaders. And I'm not saying religion is a bad thing. It may help some people. You know what I mean? But it teaches to look outside of self. You know what I mean? Before we learned anything about religion, we had knowledge of self. You know what I mean? We knew how to hold ourselves accountable for our bullshit. You dig what I'm saying? Right. So I think a lot of us we got away from that, and I believe religion may have been a part of that.
Once again, one of the key words here is accountability. Right. Like, and I don't know if people really actually know what that word means. It means the responsibility. Who's responsible for it? And I don't like to use the word fault, but who's responsible? Who's the reason this is happening? And I think like we try to shift that because we really have a love for the dysfunction. I saw to a lot of our young people, I saw smiles on their faces when they were sitting downtown amongst that carnage. I saw them turned up, as they say, in videos. I saw people still out just going to the bar out there drunk, and they know revelry is great. You was having a good time. But I'm saying we like this bullshit too much. It's almost like we feel like it's a badge of honor when you go somewhere and somebody say, "You from Milwaukee? I heard it was bad as hell up there." You kind of, yeah, that's where I'm from, right? Like what they call it, the mean streets of Milwaukee. They be joking with that shit on ESPN. They don't know how real live it is. But I'm saying it takes two because like I said, my main thing is this. I will never discount the systematic nature of what we're up against in this country. But I do feel like there needs to be a lot of accountability on our end, like Kamar said, like Ernest said, like Courtney has said, for playing into the dumb shit over and over. The crack game ain't new.
Yeah.
Ganging ain't new. Drug abuse, alcohol abuse. And in a lot of cases, the joyriding ain't new. I always knew motherfuckers who stunted in cars, flying down the street, all up in the bus lane stunt. We racing late at night, coming from Strakota's, the old school bowling alley. Strakota's. Strakotas on East Capitol, right?
Yeah, say strokers. Okay.
Yeah, no, I ain't say strokers. No, I'm talking about
This nigga got the strip club.
no. Never really been a strip club dude. Not really my bag. Not really my bag. My dollars is valuable to me, goddamn it.
I feel the same way,
But, yeah.
man.
So, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I get tired of because okay, we're looking at the mayor, and I want to say this: our mayor, you've come off as weak. Your first test as our leader, you failed it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why you failed it. You failed it because you had nothing to say that wasn't something we hadn't heard before. There was no innovation. There was no culpability for the community. There was no, I'm passionate about, once again, a black leader who is afraid to show that he's passionate about his own people. It was business as usual. If I'm the mayor and this happens coupled with what happens in Buffalo, I'm feeling some kind of way in my press conference.
Yeah.
I'm showing the people that my heart is bleeding with them, right? I'm showing the people that I care about what's going on. Instead, I'm going to come out and say, I'm going to impose a curfew downtown for teenagers. I don't know if you know about what they say now, and it's got to be up to now 18 people in 16 days killed. But you put up a curfew when they clown after the Bucks game, right? Your answer, I don't know. Did y'all see the mayor and the police chief go to the middle school? What's the middle school right there on Walnut? Oh my God!
Is that not Jackie Robinson?
I was Roosevelt. Not Jackie.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. There you go. They went to Roosevelt to talk to some 12-year-old kids. I put this in the People's News Network. And the funniest part about it is one of the little boys, he actually said, well, I don't really think nothing's going to happen behind it. But we just, I don't think they're going to be able to do nothing about it, but we just wanted to talk to him and let him know how we felt. I said, wow, you can't fool kids, can you? He said, I'm not expecting this dude to do shit. And they came in there with the 80s. Look, I grew up in the 80s, right? When the dog, remember Kamar and MPS Rough used to come or the DARE program, and they make you do a pledge with them. I will never do drugs. I will never sell drugs. I will never carry a gun. I will never gang. You know how many goddamn future inmates was in that assembly alone?
Damn.
Why is you making them little kids lie? Why are you making them lie? Right? So I see it was just such a futile effort. My wife looked and said, "Are they serious?" I said, "Apparently so."
Yeah.
Bro, you're doing leadership by the numbers right now. That's what Barrett was doing. You have totally forgotten about what's really going on in our community. I know you'd say I'm fully aware of it because you sit down. You hear me do my Obama? I'm fully aware of it. Y'all. Sorry for lying, Martin. I'm just sorry I lied to you, Martin. But that's your statement. You look weak. You look weak to me. I have to call a spade, no pun intended. I have to call a spade, right? How do y'all feel about his response? And I'm gonna make a point with this too, but I want to get my co-host kind of opinion on it. What do y'all think about his response to what happened?
Well, I mean, ain't nothing Kev, ain't nothing he ever did to make me feel like I could be behind him. Like I could believe what he's saying. He ain't never did nothing already, so I'm already side-eyeing everything he do. You know what I mean? And like I say, it just didn't sound sincere. It sounded like he was putting the blame on our community. You know what I'm saying? Which it may have been, but like he ain't got to shed light on that part, man. You know what I mean? And he was doing that, I feel like, to get the look from those people. You know what I'm saying? To put us on blast.
Okay. What you think, Courtney?
I think he's a sucker. You know, I'd heard stuff on the radio about him being like exactly what you said, being a weak mayor. And I'm like, well, when he was running, I felt like he didn't do anything to prove why he should be mayor. But his response is the same as the money for the reckless driving. The nigga only focus on downtown and the white folks and making sure that they feel comfortable and that they straight. That's all he is motherfucking worried about, making sure that they are straight and they're comfortable, because it's been wild. If you want to do a curfew, you should have been did a curfew. Motherfuckers been getting killed and getting shot at. This shit ain't new. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it just because some shit didn't happen around the white folks.
Right.
There we go. Listen, once again, I have to be able to say the same thing behind your back I say in your face. So and this is what I would say to this brother if I got an opportunity to talk down to him. This is business. This ain't personal. right? Because you might be a very affable guy. Apparently, the way you talk, you are, right? But I'm saying at this job right now, you stinking up the joint. This shit ain't. It's almost worse than it was when you took over, and that was just 2 months ago. God damn it! So now, on the same vein, right? He is a weak leader so far, right? He has shown that he don't give a shit about the community. Wouldn't piss on us if we was on fire. But what part of it do we play as members of the community? Because we have a low voter turnout. We're not vocal at the school board with all the problems in MPS, which Miss Beverly can tell you about, with the takeover of MPS and all the malfeasance with funding and this kind of thing. We're not, and a lot of us have children in the system in the district. We're not at the school board meetings being vocal, right? We don't vote in midterm elections. That's one thing. We don't keep our neighborhoods clean. We don't keep our neighborhoods clean. We are not regulating our children. I don't want to hear, like, you can tell me about all the shit that the system did later, because right now what I see is a bunch of children, youngsters, 16, 17, getting murdered. Now there's young adults being murdered as well, but the effect of our youth is too great right now. Young 19, 20 years old, they're getting murdered, right? And they're getting murdered by each other. This is not, it'd be very simple. If that some bitch who was in Buffalo was up here doing it, yeah, it'd be real simple to say that's the fucking white man doing it. Now, did y'all see the pictures of all the shooters, the supposed alleged accused shooters from the Fiserv shit? Did y'all see the pictures of these dudes?
No.
Okay. Bunch of brothers. I ain't seen one white man yet. And I talked about on here. I said, is this a plan? Is this a saboteur? Is what's going? They have cameras in every street light. They have footage of cats in action, right? So now these are our people. These are our kids. I know there's somebody out there saying, but Kev, you just don't understand that the system is, and the kids don't know no better. And because we're going to have a conversation about whose fault that is too. We're going to talk about that tonight on Outlaw Radio. It takes two, right? It takes both. Take two people to fuck up, unless it's a pot of rice, like Courtney said. You fuck that up all by yourself, right?
One person could do that. Yes.
You fuck that up all by yourself, right? Yeah. But so y'all let me know how y'all feel, man. Chime in, share the show, hit us up 262-202-5131. Reckless driving at the schools already, right? Already driving on the grass, flying on the side.
Do, Mr. Mayor.
Right. Well, is it okay?
Put a curfew on the school.
Right. Well, yeah. If I catch your ass by that school after, what you gonna do? So now the police riding around looking for kids, or is it a situation? And if this is a police strategy, please let me know. I'm not an expert in copism. If you're saying, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep the streets clean late because we're going to go through and sweep young people, because it is very true that when it's warm outside, young people are out in the hood. They everywhere. They everywhere. They all over the place in the dark because they ain't scared. Our old ass be like, I ain't going out there. It's dark in the motherfucker. When you a kid, you don't give a shit. You can still see in the dark. So this is what the police gonna be doing. They're gonna be riding around rounding up teenagers. Is this an initiative? Is this an initiative that needs to be explained to us via the police department? Transparency and accountability are kind of like similar. I ain't saying they the same, but they cousins. They mama sister. Go ahead.
They used to be a thing during the. Do they even do that anymore? Remember they used to have tabs.
I don't know. I worked in
because I remember I got picked up one day. I got picked up right in front of motherfucking Marshall. Like, you see, I'd have made it to the damn school. What you mean?
Yeah.
Said, motherfucker.
Yeah. Get your ass on the van. Come on.
Right. Like, I'm clearly here, man. Like,
I was gonna go in. I know you was. Get your ass in the van. I'm telling you, I worked in the TAP Center in Sherman Park. Kids used to come in there like, I was right in front of the school.
That's what shit, man.
I had your little ass in the school, goddamn. That's why you down here. Fill out this goddamn worksheet.
All day. That's some bullshit.
And listen, I always talk about seeing behind the curtain, okay? Because I've worked in schools, because I've worked in different social service agencies. I've seen a lot of our kids when their parents ain't around. Notice I stopped myself from saying y'all, are. I've seen our kids when the parent come to the school. You, Mr. Barnes, let me tell you, first of all, I am Mr. Barnes. Second of all, you ain't finna tell me nothing. You're going to sit down. We're going to have a conversation in regards to your child. who I work very hard to teach, by the way. It's ain't a you against me. Because it take two of us to fuck this kid up. Either I could be in the classroom or on some bullshit, or you could be at home on some bullshit. Right? And you can't blame it on me, because if I'm on bullshit in the classroom, I can't say his parents ain't shit. Right? And if he can't read, you can't come home and say that teacher don't teach shit. Because you know why? Why don't you teach his little badass how to read then? You as mama, you as pappy. Teach him how to read. You can do that yourself. It don't take long. Here, read this shit. Right? So I'm just saying, I want to find the line between what they're responsible for and what we're responsible for. And then let's work on our end. And once we good, we can unify and go after them. I don't know. Do that make sense?
The parents want you to be responsible for everything. Like a good portion of them. Like most of them, they expect you to do most of the shit, everything really. Like teach them to read, maybe teach them to tie their shoes. They want you to do pretty much everything, and they just gonna do a little bit at home. Maybe have some motherfucking rice-a-roni, what's that, your hamburger helper or something made, you know. they doing stuff like that, and then just let them get on the tablet and kick it. Cause most of them ain't doing no homework with their kids. I can tell you that. Niggas is just letting their kids hop on phones and tablets when they get home. So they expect y'all to do everything.
Right. Once again, our kids, I like to say our kids.
Right. Yes.
We all in the community. Everybody talking about they're the village. It's the village. So then that mean they all our kids. So
they don't be wanting no motherfucking village. You be trying to be a village. Don't be talking to my baby like that. You know, they be in the store acting crazy and shit like that.
There you go. There you go.
You gonna talk to the baby like that and they go crazy. What the fuck you wanna do then? We try to be a village. I don't want that shit.
So if you're saying you want the teacher to do everything, but don't say that to him. Okay, where we at with this?
That's the mental part right there. The mental, you know, you gotta throw that in there too.
I'm waiting on somebody to say, yeah, but see, you got to understand, because we were slaves for 400 years, Kev, and they told us we couldn't go to school. Did you just say they told us we couldn't go to school 400 years ago and you still mad? You still ain't willing to go? It's like, that's what you still like. They said I can't go. Who the fuck said don't go? Right? Listen, information is probably the most accessible right now than it has ever been.
Yes.
There is absolutely positively no reason for you not to know a lot of things. It's some shit that I can see how you don't know that. But you use your Google on your phone for anything else. But if it say, man, there's some shit over here that makes sense, I ain't fucking with that. I'm trying to find out where the weed at. Motherfuckers actually buy drugs off social media. They know how to. I'm selling perkies. Come get them on mobile on the east side. I be laughing at it, but it's some people tracking that person down. Like, where you at? Cause I'm meet you.
But it is. It'd be a lot of good drugs online. I don't know if they're good or not. I just see it be a lot of drugs.
Hey, she said it'd be a lot of good drugs online.
The thing is, everybody, people be like, shit. Even if I go buy them from folks, the feds ain't trying to get me. They trying to bust him down. Like exactly. That's the mindset. I'm gonna get it, but they ain't looking for me. They looking for the big dog I'm getting it from. So people ain't tripping. They like, fuck it, I'll buy it from you because they busting you down, not me.
Some of the parents come to school to cuss administration out, but for parent-teacher conferences there, no, that's Antonia Anderson. Shout out to Antonia Anderson with the Hip Hop 365 Museum. You're exactly right. Antonia. Yeah, I'm gonna go up there and check the shit out this teacher. They don't teach shit anyway. Bro, when the last time you went to conferences? Man, shit, I got to go to work. Then don't go in there with that attitude. It's counterproductive for your kid. Chantel Gwen said, good evening, Outlaw Radio. We started school already, spelling and reading. Kids don't sit and read like we had to. And I want to talk about that too. We didn't have a cell phone in school. No, it wasn't invented when I was in school, but yet you'd have had one. We thought your ass was a Jetson or something, but no. But I get what you're saying, because you couldn't have your pager, you couldn't have whatever devices, your Walkman, whatever devices was out then. You know, you got to put that shit up. But now, is the school system dysfunctional? Yes. Yeah. Is the curriculum fucked? Yes. Are they really handing our students what they need, especially in inner city schools? Is the curriculum fine-tuned to our children's need? Absolutely not. Once again, this is not an excuse for your ass, for your kid to be running down the hallway, throwing shit, kicking people, jumping off lunch tables. You try to talk to them, fuck you, bitch, and all this. It's still, that's not an excuse. You can't justify like, well, I send them to school and they don't teach them shit. It seemed like you ain't teaching them shit or her shit. I'm only saying this because I've worked in the schools. I've been in the environments. I'm telling you, I've seen our kids I done
Hey,
seen them.
Kev, remember a while back when I was talking about, I said, man, we got to take responsibility for that too. Like, we know the schools ain't doing their job, so that just means you got to step up and do more.
You're right. You're right.
If you feel like they ain't doing their job, you need to step up and do more.
Right. What you criticizing something for, but you ain't gonna do nothing about it. It's like complaining about something, but you're not gonna change it. Why the fuck are you complaining? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So you're right, Chantel Gwen. It starts at home. You are absolutely right. But let me tell you this. And so a lot of people, the reasoning, and I deal with people who give me reasoning behind a lot of our issues. So they say, well, Kev, these kids don't have that at home. Okay, I understand that. I understand that they don't have that at home. So we look at why the home is not because those parents didn't have it when they was growing up. Why didn't they? Because I didn't have a father. I didn't have. You see how this shit just start going? It's 100 years. Ain't nobody had no daddy, so they didn't fucked up because of it. Ain't nobody. Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna let that stop me, right? Fathers don't be around in our family because damn, ain't nobody never had a daddy around here apparently. But all of my aunties pregnant. That's a different show. But
it's called a generational curse. You got to be ready to break it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Paris LaShawn. He said, "Peace, Outlaws." Brother Shay and Kruma. Chantel Gwen says she used to pop up at school different time and different days. Well, you can ask both of my children that daddy always had a job where he, was out and about mobile. I'm up and through the community all day most of the time. So yes, I pop up too. What's going on? Oh shit, that's Pops. Fucking right. Why I get a call while I'm on my lunch break trying to enjoy my checkers, right? And you done fucked it up for me. You know how good these fries be? They be hot and shit. And I got to get this phone call from your teacher. Nah, I'm pissed. So yeah, I did pop-ups too. But also between my wife and I, and this is just our strategy. Of course, it doesn't work for everybody, and I'm not telling nobody to do it. We always just try to make ourselves known to the teachers that there is accountability at home if he or she is fucking up. Call one of us, immediate action will be taken. If it's me calling my wife saying I did this call, you on your way? Yes, I'm on my way. Okay, I'm good. Or you could stay, or no, I got it. It was always, whether we was getting along or not, she probably was mad at me anyways for some dumb shit I had done. But it was always that when it came to the kids. That's one suggestion to you all out there who have a kid that's young and in school and struggling. As a parent, you got to make yourself be more accountable because guess what? You're actually responsible for his or her education until they turn 18. So it do take two. It take the kid and the parent to fuck up. Now you got some kids who got fucked up families that go to school and be aces and be up out of the ghetto, be up out of poverty. Life done change. Unfortunately, a lot of them get turned out and become Uncle Toms and Sambos. That's pretty bad. That's pretty sad. I didn't mean to throw that in there. Chantel Gwen said my kids' friends didn't even tell them I was sitting in the back. Right. Well, kids know. Well, normally kids be like, "Oh shit, who daddy is? Oh, that's Kevin daddy." Oh, yep. And he looked back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Right here. So, I've had security who knew me. When my son went to go to my air, he used to be just a screwball. I used to have to just pop up, right? And so the security knew me, like, hey, Mr. Barnes, come on down. I'd pop up in the lunchroom, and the kids knew me because I was at every practice, every game, everything. Kevin, nigga, your daddy. I could see him whispering, and he looked back like, "Oh shit, this nigga really here." I got time today, cuz. Ain't that what the young white boy said? I got time today, cuz.
Yeah.
Shout out to Loran Allison, man. What's going on, my brother? Neighborhood, Capitol Drive, original OG. He said nowadays the parents want to argue that the kid wasn't doing what's being complained about. It's very easy to pass the buck, my brother, and that's what the show really what we're talking about tonight is accountability. And like I understand that this thing is stacked against us, but I always felt like when you realize it's stacked against you, you got to fight a little bit harder, right? Like you got to dig in a little bit deeper and fight a little bit harder. I don't see us fighting harder. I see us not fighting at all, just giving up, surrendering the front lines. They say we've been infiltrated, right? So let's talk about it. Whose fault is it? Can we really work with the police? Sean Moore, shout out to my big homie, Sean Moore. Called in and had a very passionate call the other night talking about, it really needs to be some brothers who are certified and bona fide in the streets to be able to go into the community and talk to our young people. Because I said we got to identify some sort of leadership amongst these young people. There's got to be somebody who they look up to or follow.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know somebody named Clem Richardson?
No, I don't know nobody named Clem.
Oh, okay. Well, look. God damn it, Kev. So I took my son.
Uh-oh.
Kev, you know Clem.
I don't know. That's an old Negro name. That's like saying, a nigga named Hezekiah. I'm sorry, Courtney, you was breaking up. We missed what you were saying.
Oh, I was saying my homeboy recommended me to Clem Richardson to take my son to him. He's a therapist, and I guess he used to be in the streets. But yeah, him as a black man, even just that first session, it was really good, man. And I feel like we need more black men to be around and be available for the boys more than anything. Some of these girls too. I think they need that too. Yeah.
But I don't know. That don't mean he's not official because I don't know him. I don't know.
Right.
Right. Because you probably asked him about me, but I don't know a motherfucking name Kevin. Like
just wondering,
Right. No. And if he's spoken with your son and it's had an effect, then I would say continue to rock with him, support him. Because a lot of sisters who have these young boys who are out of control, they won't. Some of them will say he don't need no man, he got me. His daddy was on some bullshit. I got him. I ain't taking him to talk to nobody. And Tanya says some of the parents have told them that once their child is at school, it's our job to make sure they get to class. It is their job. It is our job when we're in the hallways as adults to provide structure to children. If we have when I worked in MPS, my thing was always, I'm a grown person in this building and I'm going to act like one. So when I see kids doing some shit, I'm going to say something to them. Like, hey man, y'all need to go to class, bro. I don't know why y'all standing out here, man. I'm finna go, and I go and knock on the teacher's door, like, you got all these kids out here, right? Sometimes teachers be like, I put them out, motherfucker. Or some of them sometimes be like, y'all get in here, right? So adults should be adults. I feel like we are okay, and even myself, because I've been a little loose as a youngster. I was a little loose, right? And so I usually will say, well, I understand where them young boys coming from. I understand how they feel, but I don't make no excuse for them. I tell them that shit's wrong. Yeah, I used to do that shit too. But you know what I realized is that it was wrong, youngster. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that shit's finna lead you down a road you don't want to go down. Some of our kids don't give a fuck about going down that road. Why? They don't care about nothing. They're not scared of death. They ain't scared of shit. They don't, they just out here. Because you gotta be seriously on something to be high, hanging out the window of a car, swerving down the street, doing 70 on the wrong side. You're not scared. What? You're not scared of anything if that's the way you live in your life. You damn sure need some help. Let me see. Loran said nowadays, okay. That was his last one. Okay, so he said they have no consequences. Well, amazingly, some of the youngsters that they arrested at the Fiserv Center, they got shot, but they was wanted. They was on the run for being involved in shootings, jumping bail, and all this. So apparently, like, motherfuckers just like, I know I'm wanted by 3 different law enforcement agencies, but I'm gonna grab a pistol and I'm gonna take it down to the Fiserv with me and watch the Bucks game. Where does this logic come from? I don't understand that. Once again,
because they thugging, but they still want to kick it. That's what it is, Kevin. When you thugging, but you like, oh, shit's cracking. That just like when they go to the lake. They be down to the lake with their motherfucking guns and shit, but they know it's popping down there and they still want to kick it and have fun. But we also on that type of time too. Just thinking, we see them niggas, we got it.
Yeah. I get it. I get the thuggism. I get it. I get the wild. You young. I'm out here. I'm young. You full of piss when you young. I'm out here. What they say, YOLO or whatever. I sound old. I'm aging.
Say it again, Kev. Say it again.
YOLO. I said it like somebody uncle and shit. Yeah, boy. YOLO. But no, once again, I've worked with young people so very long, and not intentionally, because this was not what I intended to do for a living. I did not. I never, when I was in school, like I always tell people, I laughed at education majors. You finna be working with badass kids. I'm gonna be on the radio. I was laughing my ass off. Ended up being my black ass in the classroom with them. So I work with them so long that I kind of understand the way they move, right? But I can tell you this, and this is, go back and watch my brother Evan Kern and myself last night talking about, because he was saying how he get kids at 7, 8 years old playing football and they stay involved with him until they're 14 and they're on a positive track. And when they get to high school, he loses a lot of them. They decide they're not gonna, play sports no more, and they don't stay in contact with him. And he's saying, like, I don't know how we kind of create a transition for these boys, because there's a lot of kids who athletics could have took them out of our community, but they get lost in the sauce. So I'm saying, where are we as parents fucking up at? Something that we can change right away, because this needs to happen sooner than later, right? So how much of this is our responsibility? Because I'm tired of us blaming the system. We get it. It's racism in the world. We live in racist ass Milwaukee and racist ass Wisconsin, but guess what? It's in racist ass America on racist ass Earth. I'm sorry. So
I have things to say.
Okay.
Okay. So, I have this girl son, and he started in MPS and went to Germantown around 2nd grade and stayed there to 6th grade and lived in Georgia, and all these great experiences, and back and forth between his dad and traveling the world. And then when we hit high school, we skipping class. We still doing football, but now we skipping classes. You know what I'm saying? We fighting in bathrooms and shit. We fighting in the hallway. We getting other fights and getting expelled. Now we going to schools for CO kids. So it's like, where in there do you see the problem, Kev? Like, where would you pinpoint it? Because it's like, I'm a parent that's done everything and at the crib, he's straight. But as soon as we hit high school,
the motherfuckers don't even let us discipline the kids no more.
Because you don't know. You can't say where it begins. I don't motherfucking know. It's like, folks, this is one of the things you be sitting there like, folks, what is your problem? What the fuck you doing this for? Why? Why'd you even? So some of these, I don't know.
So it's a couple things here, right? Here's a young man who had some structure and some consistency when he was young, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so somewhere along the way, that consistency and that structure went away. Now, I will tell you this: it's much easier to manage a little boy than it is a young man.
Yes.
And when they become young men, it take a man's hand sometime to get them straight, right? So what I would say to that young man, first of all, is, what's wrong with you? What are you not happy about? Because obviously, because you're doing all kinds of crazy shit and it's the wrong thing, and you don't care enough about yourself to make better decisions. Do you want to, where's your daddy at? Do you feel like you need you want to interact with your pops? If that's not possible, then it is time to say, well, I'm going to get you in a situation where you're going to be around some positive men, some men who going to invest in you, who ain't going to let you fuck it off. And you're doing the right thing when you said that you're going to seek mediation for him. But I would say, and I don't know this off the top of my head, I would say his father should be intricately involved, even to the point where, because if it's my boy and I'm not there, I'm saying, send his ass to me.
And I think that's an issue too, because he say that, but I think he just say it. He don't really mean it. He'll say it to him like, yeah, I want you to come down. Tell your mom I'm finna try and get you, but he don't mean that shit. So I think that fucks him up too. His daddy steady saying it, but then I always got to point out, well, you see, your daddy ain't even called me. He told you that, but he ain't called, he ain't text. You see, when I wanted you, I came and got you. You see, he ain't came and got you. He ain't even trying. So in
this case, it's definitely two people fucking up here. It's your son on one end, but it's his daddy too, right? And I don't know his pops. People say, Kev, get out their business. I'm just saying, if your shorty struggling and you ain't came and got him, you ain't doing your job as a father. That's what I will say definitively. No excuses, no goddamn. But my child support, I got other kids. No, I won't hear none of that shit. Go get your boy. LeBron said, it's hard as parents to compete with instant gratification of social media. It damn sure is. But you know what? It was hard for my parents to keep up with plain regular television. We had this how old I am. We had select TV at night when you get HBO at night and it'd be naked movies on there.
Hey.
We had cable. We had Cinemax. My parents they came up when it was just radios in the house.
Cinemax was freaky.
Right. It was all kinds of new inventions and new wrinkles, video games and all this shit. Well, Cinemax is a low budget softcore.
It might be Showtime. All of them had little freaky shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we didn't have Showtime. We couldn't afford all them channels. But I'm saying my parents figured out a way to still manage me. Like, I remember my daddy sitting me down, because I tell this story all the time. So if you heard it before, don't be like, this motherfucker repeating himself. My father heard the Ghetto Boys, We Can't Be Stopped. I left it in his tape deck because I put his car in the garage. My father's a Baptist preacher, right? He's the associate minister at a very large church. And his son is listening to in 1991 we knocked on the door. In 92 we beat on the door. Now it's 1993. Finna kick this motherfucker in. And this is what my father hears when he gets in the car, right? Like, so what he does is he pulls me to the side and says, "This is what you're listening to. Tell me about this. What's up with this? What you like about this? I listened to it. What do you think about what they saying?" We had this conversation, and I had to give him a whole synopsis of what it was. But at the end of the day, he said, "You know that's not your life, right? You know that's not you, right? Okay, you know you'll get fucked up if that's what you want." I know, bro. It's just music, Pop. It's just music. So I'm saying sometimes you got to take that time to do that. I do this with my son all the time. I go and sit through hours of YouTube videos by Milwaukee rappers, right? Because if y'all don't know, these youngsters from Milwaukee have thousands of videos on YouTube with thousands of views. And I sit with my son and I watch and I listen and we talk about what's on the screen. That's what, because he know I'm all about guns and gun safety. So when I see, even with the reckless behavior, I'm like, who's playing with a gun with a 50-shot drum? Like, that's not even sensible, right? I'm not saying what I'm doing is going to stop him from doing something stupid, because it is what it is. But I'm saying if you're going to make an effort to do so and be accountable as a father, this is what you have to do. If my son is really striking out like that to the point where another black man has to be paid to mentor him, I'm on the first thing smoking. I don't know this motherfucker from Adam who you got my son talking to. What's happening? Now, takes two. So for all you mothers who be like, I ain't letting my baby give me a... Okay. Now you fucking up. Now, once again, we getting into some baby daddy shit because I don't know how many felonies he got, or, you know, if he a tree jumper or whatever. I don't know. But I'm saying the mother...
What the fuck is that?
That's what they call rapists in jail. Tree jumpers. All right. He jumped from behind a tree on your ass and rape you. Ah, boo. Right? Like...
Oh my gosh.
And not that I've been in jail. My partner who did a lot of years told me that. So I got that from him. Shout out to Taco Sword, man. My boy. He would always say that. You know, that dude's in there. He's a tree jumper, KB. Like, what's a tree jumper? Talk. The boys who do that rape, man, and take them girls. But yeah, man. So yeah, that would be my advice. I would sincerely, and I'm not saying you haven't done this. What I do if I were you, I would call his dad and say, listen, truce to whatever what we got going on.
We can't do that. No.
Okay. See, now there we go.
I mean, we could have, but you know what I'm saying? He ain't got his life right. He can't be no dad. You didn't, after I was the first baby mama, then you have 4 more baby mamas, and now you're on child support. Now you can't afford no, you know what I'm saying? So you just fucking with bitches and sleeping at their crib. And so where my son gonna be sleeping at? Somebody's couch.
See, now that's where it gets rough at. That's where
it gets rough. We done did this, and that's why I had to go get my son off somebody's couch. Like, dog, this nigga's on. I'm on the way. Fuck you think this is? I'm on the way.
Right. So once again, for you to go outside and say, I need somebody to talk to you, it ain't necessarily a bad thing. I would put a lot of this just from the outside looking in. I would say, bro, fucking up, man. Because he can say, man, that nigga fuck up. He in school, he ain't doing shit. Well, why don't you go get him? Well, I can't. I got the baby. You fucked up. Because why you have all them kids and then say I'm broke? Because if you got that many kids, you got to get your money right. You got to step your hustle up. So I'm not even taking that as an excuse. Like, man, I got kids, man. Well, you got to get more money, bro. Why you keep making them?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a rubber? I don't know. I was Irish right there. I said rubber. That was rubber. Right.
You see, I was trying to
I be trying to be multi-ethnic on the show. I be trying to bring some variety to it. Vincent Tony said we living out the reality of decades of teenage pregnancy. Girls and young women having multiple babies by different men who are not involved in their children's lives.
Oh, we gonna have more. You know what I'm saying? No, and I'm not. You know, I'm pro-choice in this bitch, but oh yeah, we gonna have a whole lot more now. You see, nowadays niggas is killing the baby mamas and the baby. They said, "Bitch, I told you not to have the baby." And they gonna take both of y'all out. So it's gonna be a thing.
Here we go. It's black women's fault. It's black women's fault. Black women are responsible for a lot of the degradation of our family structure and the destruction of our community. Is that where we at with this? So we getting into this argument. This is another reason why I said it takes two, because I keep hearing black men say this and black women say that. I even heard Lonnie Love, big whale looking ass, say black men don't know how to respect a woman because we were slaves and we don't know nothing about being in no family. If you don't get your shiftless ass up out of here.
There's so many motherfucking families out here. It used to be. It still is.
Do you have the audacity to even insinuate that a white man won't cheat on you? Are you out of your mind that white men are better experts at relationships than we are? Right. You got to be the biggest ass in the jungle to say that, right? Like, so yeah, she's an idiot. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. But so black women, is it their fault? Or what? Okay, let's ask the question like we've been going the whole show. I just said, how much of it is their fault? Courtney said about 50%. Courtney, is that what you said?
Oh, that's what I was talking about with the women when they be tripping with the babies. And ooh, that shit was like 60-40. I remember. It was like 60, about half and half though. Like it should be real. That's a lot.
So the majority of the fault with the dysfunction in our community lies in the lap of black women.
Half and half. Oh, just dysfunction in the community alone. Oh, that's half and half. That's us.
Okay.
It's us.
That's us. Both sides. Both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, it truly takes two, right?
Yeah. Everybody need to heal, like Kamara said. Motherfuckers ain't trying to heal. Look, my baby daddy been trying to fuck me the past 5 months, and I just been saying heal. And they're like, all right, I'm gonna heal. They ain't taking no steps to heal. People don't want to heal. They like their toxic, fucked up self. Motherfuckers don't want to heal and deal with that shit. They rather just continuing on. Fucked up.
Maybe it was sexual healing. I don't know. I'm trying, right? No, I totally get it. But once again, why would you seek healing if you feel like you don't need it? Right? And because you are not accountable for your own behavior. You're not looking at what's going on saying, damn, I am really fucking this up. Like, I need to figure this out. I need to get some help. I need to stop it right here. And so why would any brother not be able to come to that conclusion? Like, what's preventing? And I get it. Some brothers just giving up. They're like, man, it is what it is. Right. And I'm just going to live. I don't know. I think that attitude is infectious. And I think that's the attitude that kind of permeates through our community. As soon as any difficulties arise with young men who have babies, any baby mama drama, he out the door for the dough, as they say. And I ain't finna deal with this shit. I'm gone. But I do believe that that's a result of not dealing with stand-up men, not meeting brothers in your life who was true to their shit that'll tell you, boy, you don't run off like that. That's just shorty. You don't run off. That ain't cool. You don't do that. So that's why I always say, I hear brothers talking about women, and I say it can't be all their fault. Because I know some brothers, and I don't want to hear the excuses. A lot of them doing it because they never seen the family. I know some brothers from some good, solid 2-parent homes. They got 5 kids by 4 women, 5 kids by 6 women, 6 kids by 7 women, whatever the scenario. Multiple baby mamas. I know some brothers who struggle to take care of all those babies too, but I know some who don't give a fuck about only the latest one that was born. Like, no, this is my youngest. He be with me. But don't you got one that's like 25? Man, I ain't seen dude since he was 8. Huh? Okay, so that's why I say it's not all on the woman, but a portion of this we missing. The system plays a part in this too because of how heinous they are on black men in court.
Yes.
You go to court as a black man in a child custody or child support case, you're getting raped. You better have a goddamn Johnny Cochran level lawyer, or you gonna leave up out of there with a broomstick shoved straight up your ass, right? Pause. I have to pause. Kamar don't have to pause. I have to pause. But I'm just saying. So see, now we figuring out who's responsible. So what's the part that we as black men can focus on? Get your kids. Let's start a campaign with black men. Get your kids, man. Get your babies, dog. And it's enough of us out here who do it so that we can actually have some unity in numbers, some strength in numbers. Because I know a lot of brothers who are steadfast about being daddies no matter what the status of their relationship with the kid's mother is. So and they say, man, she go hard. She be on some bullshit. I just get my baby, dog. That's all I can do. It's a lot of brothers who do that. And so I think that's part of where the conversation needs to start at amongst us as black fathers. Let me get Vince Tony's comments in here. And y'all know the number is 262-202-5131. Y'all can always call in. Y'all have my old ass read. My eyes be tired after the show. Teenage pregnancy, 13, 14, 15-year-olds and boys and girls are not men or women. They are kids having babies. Now that they are grown, they are still childlike in their minds and actions.
It's the same thing when you're 18, though. I mean, I got pregnant at 18, literally the summer I graduated high school, and it's like having a little brother. I mean, even when I talk to my son, I ask him about my parenting. How does he feel about me being his parent? You know, we had these talks on the regular just to see, how do you feel? Do you feel I'm being a decent parent? And it's like, well, you know, you kind of like a big sister. And technically, yeah, I got a brother that's 15 years older than me. So even having a kid 18, 19, we are still motherfucking kids. We just left high school. We got knocked up. So from 13 to, I'm going to say 18, 19, yeah, we're all just babies raising fucking babies.
I tell you what, though, if my son, if he gets a young lady pregnant at the age of 17, 18 in there, what I'm going to tell him is, because he can't come to me and say, well, I still got a life. No, you don't. You just gave that up.
You don't, like, for real.
Your childhood is gone.
You can't.
Newsflash.
Right. Your childhood's gone, bro. You done created a life. All that shit you talking about, I want a guy, but I be wanting to, people in hell want ice water. No. You got responsibility, son. And as long as I'm here, you're not going to be able to escape them. I don't care what, oh, dad, my ass, boy. I look, I didn't help you make it, but I will help you take care of it. But you're going to have to foot some responsibility. And I'm only helping you until you get on your feet so you can do this by yourself. Right. And a lot of us need to have this. Once again, we need to have this conversation with our young men about what being a father means. It's not just a notch on your belt. Because I know a lot of brothers, you say, man, you got kids, but shit, nigga, I got like 5 baby mamas, man. Tell you, man, I was out here, man. And they say that shit like it's cool. It's like, nah, dog. What the fuck was wrong with you? This is what I always say. Like, what was, nigga, you was on one, wasn't you? Oh, man, shit, you know how I be. Nah, I actually don't. I don't actually know. I don't actually know.
That's just how it is. No,
right. Okay. Okay, but you created this situation for yourself. Yeah. So you got to take responsibility for it. I'm not saying that's going to be easy, because believe it or not, you made it very hard. Because kids are expensive and it takes a lot of sacrifice to raise them. Right? And especially if you're talking about raising them right, doesn't guarantee that they're not going to be a knucklehead out here doing what they do. But the fact is, you played your part. You did what you needed to do. Right? Yeah. So it's about, once again, we get back to that word accountability. Outlaw Radio, it takes two. On a Wednesday night, hump day edition, man. I'm looking at all the crime in our community. I could blame Chevy, but to be honest, he just became mayor a few months ago. He inherited a shit show. Now, my problem with him is that he's not doing anything that I would necessarily deem long-term solutions. Because I keep hearing you talking about, I'm going to make the streets skinnier. I'm going to bring the curve out. And I'm going to do. Well, not once have I said not once have I heard him say I'm going to create economic opportunities in the community for Black people. I'm going to provide these children with more. $2.5 billion budget for MPS. They've already come out and said they need some more money because they are anticipating losing another 1,000 students next fall. And they have all these operating costs. Okay. One of your operating costs is central services. It's a black hole. It's a bureaucratic black hole that a lot of money is wasted in. There's no way you can't tell me that connections and community partnerships cannot be made with these schools to improve them. If nothing else, you can trim that fat off City Hall and say, we're looking for neighborhood mentors, which means we're going to go hire people from the surrounding area of the schools to come in and work and help us with these kids. We're going to pay you. We ain't going to come volunteer. No, we're going to pay you. You retired. You a Walmart greeter, but you used to work, you worked in childcare all your life or something like that. Come on in here and get $25 an hour, man, just to be in here with these babies. Black man, you in the community, man. We paying for community mentors, man. That can be done. That should be added to whatever bogus curriculum you got is now that you're teaching them. Because what you're too busy doing is teaching them tolerance and how to accept trans men and trans women. How you gonna teach me how to accept trans men when you ain't taught me how to accept my own masculinity? You teaching me about sex and gender when you ain't. I'm a kid. I don't even know what that is. I got to teach you what being a man is first before I say, well, now that you're a man, now if you want to wear a skirt, go ahead. I'd rather we did it in that order. Let's talk about
that there's an option here.
Right.
Come on, man. That shit don't even sound right.
Well, I'm just saying, like
just teach a boy he a boy and a girl what a girl is.
Well, let's do that then. Let's do that.
We didn't talk that shit that long. The fact that they're really trying to have conversations about it. I mean, I don't remember no boy and girl talks. I'm sure we had them. You know, I'm sure it was real quick type shit. You know what I'm saying? And we continued on about our kindergarten, first grade, rest of our lives. You know, so the fact that they really trying to take the time out. But you know, here they working to see a news article. What they getting Lincoln Hills or some shit?
Well, they're trying to close Lincoln Hills down. They're trying to bring them back to Milwaukee.
Oh, so what is that? A juvenile facility already?
Yeah, it's a youth prison, just like
jail. It's basically a prison for juveniles.
Right.
Oh, so they trying to shut it down.
It's a boys' school. I was in Wales when I was young. Okay. Wales was the other one. It was Wales and Lincoln Hills where they was seeing boys.
So where they finna take them?
Hills, I think girls went to Lincoln Hills too, though.
Well, I thought the girls had, but I know Ethan Allen was the boys. Yeah. Wales was the boys, right? That was the boys' prison.
Yeah. But so if they gonna close it, kid, where are these kids going? Because if our little juvenile here is full, and then they want to close Lincoln Hills, and they finna be out of GPSs, like what's gonna happen?
Well, see, first of all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with them bringing them back towards the city, because first of all, it's a lot of jobs there. Right. And to send them up north somewhere and let some other people, and it's so many, like Joseph Walker, who watches our show, has a very long story. He's been on here about being gassed in Ethan Allen and kids being abused and being beaten and being just, it's so much crazy shit. They had a situation at Ethan Allen, and one of the cats was one of my brothers from my neighborhood that I grew up with. They took over the prison. They took some people hostage. Assaulted some guards, like it was off the chain up there. Kamar can tell you about it. Kamar, you said you was there to talk about it.
I don't know if I wasn't there when that happened. I wasn't there when that happened. But I mean, but yeah, you know what I mean? Shit, it ain't hard to do. It was more inmates than it was guards, just like in prison. You know what I mean? And I don't even think they was armed. It was just staff or some shit like that.
I'm down for fucking revolutions, Kev. Like if I was in prison, I want you to know I'm the motherfucking orchestrate how we could take these motherfucking guards down. Like, look, now a couple of us gonna get shot, but it's a prison full of us. Goddamn it, is what 30, 50 guards. But look on every I be made a mad. Look, okay, every shift it's 30 guards. Okay, so all we got to do is when Tamika come in here at 10, you know what I'm saying?
A couple of us gonna be shot.
I'll probably be shot, but just know I came with the plan. I would have inmate trying to plan.
You would be in the yard. You would be in the yard all by yourself, because I would not walk next to you. Like I'm gonna stand a fuck away from her. She's crazy. I only got 6 months. I'm trying to get out of here. She's talking about damn revolution. Stephanie Bo said all the shit is systematic. You know what? I believe this is Stephanie. I believe the systematic part only. I believe it's only a small part. I right now, what I want to tell black people is, okay, it's a system in place here, right? Mm-hmm. Let's buck the system. Let's buck it. Let's stop playing.
Said that, Kev.
Huh?
I just said that.
Okay.
Then I just say or y'all didn't like the way I wanted to buck it. Y'all don't want to.
You talked about getting a lot of people shot in the ass is what you talked about. I don't know about. I mean, you know, if that's what.
Hey, Courtney. The thing is, you started your spell out with a lot of us gonna get shot. But I don't know if I want to follow that plan.
If they would have had this talk in slavery,
you already expecting casualties with your plan.
Look, even slavery, you gotta let them know. Like, look, we could take over this plantation, but maybe 5 of us gonna die. But we could take this motherfucker over. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
One thing about that is this: when we said buck the system, Kamar and I, a couple years ago, we wanted to start a movement called what was it? Boycott the Prisons. And I used to always say that on the show, boycott the prison. And people was like, well, what did that mean? We need to go march in front of the prison. No, we need to stop going.
Stop going. That's it.
Because a lot of the shit that we're in there for can be avoided. There's situations that are exactly situations that you end up going to prison for. But a lot of the shit is shit that we can avoid. And you get caught. I was on the car, so I served the undercover, right? I needed some money. Well, motherfucker, you should have went and got a paper route or a job. I know it ain't no paper routes no more, but you should have went and got a job. It's not you was throwing rocks at the penitentiary, right? That was wrong for you to be in your community selling crack to somebody. So when you got caught, you were in violation of the law, so you went to prison, right? Like, I'm just saying, we need to buck the system. We need to stop going. We need to stop. Well, I'm gonna go strap up. I'm gonna strap up. We all gonna shoot up our neighborhood tonight. All that shit that you go to, that's your fault. That can be avoided. But it can't be just avoided by one person. It has, all of us have to be not on this bullshit. So that's what I'm saying. We need to get off of let's own our shit. That's a part that we play in this. Vince Tony said they got Bay in prison. I'm the, what? They got Bay in prison. I'm the cutest already. Asked David Bowen about Bill AB 793 and the $3.4 million Bishop Daniels can receive to house 24 boys in one of his buildings. They got boy in the prison. I'm the cutest. Vince, I need you to explain that. Maybe I just can't fucking read, but I don't know what I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Stephanie said we can take over. Are you ready for a revolution? I'm not ready for no real armed insurrection right now.
We would
Because
lose right now, Kel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would.
Right.
That's why I said we should do it a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, the way these white folks train, they be training their kids. Too. Hell yeah, them kids know how to shoot.
I think if you're talking about a revolution with firepower, you know what I mean, guns and shit, they the lost back then too.
I feel like back then
hey, listen. Yeah. I think the revolution is economical.
See, back then we had a better chance, Kamar. You know, we was on them plantations. We could have took over plantations.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying, but they still had an army.
See, I think after we took over the plantation, then we get the weapons and shit, and then we go, we could have came up with a plan, but now it's just too much. They're too well trained. They kids trained. They be hunting. They do a lot of shit that they're survivalists. We're not. So yeah, we definitely lose.
Well, we talking about men. If we talking about what being a man, we gonna have a revolution, and that means we got to be on the front lines. But you have to have a contingency plan for your women and your children. Where are we gonna send them? What if we lose? What if they break through the front? And then your girl just at the crib chilling. Like, where your husband at? Girl, he out there fighting. No, we gotta have them somewhere. We have to get our kids. We gotta get our women.
Most of us depend on them for our medicine, and they fucking stay alive. Again, I think, like I say, all wars are economical.
We have to take over Walgreens.
All wars are economical. If we want any kind of benefits, if we want anything, you know what I mean? It's economical. We got to stop spending our money. That's just the bottom line.
Very true.
That point that Kamar is making, and I agree with, is that there's more than one way to have a revolution, right? Because you can have a revolution of the mind as well, in which we change the way we think about things.
Yeah.
We make adjustments to our thought patterns. And once we start to make this an actual movement, see, we can just say it, right? We can say it. But we don't make it into a movement. And this is why I can't see right now. This is what lets me know the leadership in our city is short-sighted. There's no campaign. There's no movement. There's no catchphrase. There's no social media campaign or anything against violence. Like, I feel like in the Black community right now, there should have been a theme. I say this every year. There should have been a theme attached to Juneteenth Day, which is coming up, which is nonviolence. And it should have started with kids being involved, where we're going to have a talent show. We're going to have a community talent show for our kids. We're going to have kids come up and read poetry. We're going to have them display their art. We're going to put them out here and make it something that's culturally beneficial for them. And the theme around this is a moratorium on violence. We got these babies out here today. We don't want no shooting, no fighting, no stupid shit. It's about non-violence. I don't see the people who are organizers setting up that campaign, going out to the schools, starting programs to say, no, we're going to have floats. Because we got horses. We got a parade with horses that come through. Yay, Black cowboys. Why we don't got kids who make floats? Why we don't turn it in like, but what they got, Bud Billiken Day in Chicago? Is that the name of it? Anybody out there from Chicago, let me know. Well, where it's really a big celebration of our culture and our community. So ain't nobody around here thinking outside the box. Well, we might as well give them a curfew. Wait a minute. So you think thugs with guns is gonna say, "Oh shit, dog, I will go with you, but it's 11 o'clock. I gotta go in the crib." They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a shit about no curfew, man. So your excuse is to start rounding them up, and then you too busy rounding up teenagers, so you can't be in other places to stop other crimes. See, this is how it's going to become now another excuse to an excuse, and at the end of the day, you're going to say, "Well, we need more money for more police. Can we get $85 million more? Oh, we know property assessments and property tax levy is off the chain right now. Hey, broke ass people in Milwaukee, we need more money, right?" That's the part they're playing. The part we playing is that we keep electing their ass. It still take two people to fuck us up. Stephanie Bowles said they killing us. We killing us too, though, Stephanie. I'm not going the angle of black crime. No, but the reality is we're killing ourselves too. They are letting us kill us. That's true too, Chantel Gwen. They are letting us kill us, right? The murder and the carnage in the community. If this don't get dealt with, this is going to be the worst summer that's ever been recorded in our city. If something don't come to curb this, because it's already at like I don't know if people realize we're like triple where we were with homicides just last year, right? Here's Vince Tony. He said, "Let's not talk about the money for Office of Violence Prevention, 414 Life." You know what, Vince? I'm not going to argue with you on that regard, because even some of that funding could be really utilized for grassroots campaigns, like I'm talking about with moratorium on violence and going into community with real resources for mentors and real mediators to be able to go and to really get these brothers and sisters who are, once again, who represent some sort of leadership, to be able to get them in touch in their own communities to say, man, use your leadership for something good. And here's a way out of what you in. Now I know, brothers, I'm a millionaire, I'm a kingpin, I'm making very well. You on borrowed time, player. It's only so long for the feds come get you, bruh. We giving you a way out right now to change your life and change things. People say, "Kevin, ain't that easy." I know, but as long as we keep coming up with excuses not to start, we're never gonna get started. If every time I say let's do this, and somebody say, "Nah, that ain't gonna work," what they call that, Kamar, paralysis by analysis, right? Mm-hmm. Let's sit around and talk about it, y'all. Let's have having another meeting. And 414 Life and the Office of Violence Prevention. What blame do we put on them? Because they receive money? Like, so is it their fault that they've been given this almost impossible job to do in this community? They've been given some money to do it. Is it their fault? Like, if they was given $10 million more for funding, would they stop the violence in Milwaukee? Them by themselves, them alone? I don't know that they would. I don't know that they could without the community taking up on itself to start doing something about it. It's got to be like a collaborative effort.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely got to be a collaborative effort.
Okay. Definitely. Chantel Gwen said, but all the cameras on every other stoplight, but can't solve one murder because they don't care who did it. A lot of times it seems like they know who did it. I feel like they know who did it because they usually go get them right away. Like you said, the cameras is in the. You know how many brothers are getting locked up over cell phone towers and street light cameras and all that kind of stuff. Let me see. No, they would spit that out too. I got to see what Chantel is talking about. I must have missed something. Like she said, I got a cricket phone. Vincent said, had me on the show to talk about Bill 2017 Assembly Bill 790, about 2017 Assembly Bill 794. Vince, you're welcome to come on and talk about that bill whenever you want. I already told you that. You got an open invitation. Hit us up though, man. It takes two. All I'm saying is, black people, it's time to own our shit. It's time to own our shit, right? Because that's all we can take care of. I always tell young people, especially when I'm coaching, there's only two real things you can control, and that's your attitude and your effort. You can't control the refs. You can't control the weather. Right. You can't control the temperature, right? Only thing you can control is your attitude and your effort, right? And that's what you got to secure. So in order to do that, we collectively have to own up to our shit and say, you know what, we fucking up, y'all. All right, I get that they doing some shit too, but we fucking up too, right? Like, let's stop the bleeding on our end, so once again we can unite and fight that end of it. Because right now we're unable to even fight against what they doing to us because we so fucked off in terms of our solidarity and our unity with each other. So I'm just saying, man, it takes two people. I'm tired of people shifting the blame game. And if you're a person out there consistently pointing fingers at somebody, you part of the problem too. You part of the problem too, man. You need to get out here and get some, at least try to get something done. Man, I'm just saying, man. I'm not trying to call nobody out. I'm disappointed in the leadership that we've gotten from downtown so far. I feel like the mayor came off as very weak. Um, and I feel like right now, from what he's showing me, there would be really no reason to reelect him if this is what he's on, because it doesn't represent any change. And if people are out there happy because he said he gonna move the curbs out further, or he said he doing a curfew, if you were satisfied by that and you feel like, well, the mayor's doing his job, I feel like you're short sighted as well. That is absolutely like the shittiest response to what just happened. His whole, and once again, the one thing if you just tuning in, you didn't hear us talking about his lack of passion. I didn't feel him when he was speaking. So you get some great speakers who will get on there and make you feel like, man, I do this for real about this shit.
Right.
It seemed like just another day at the office for him. Like, let's just put a curfew down there. You catch the ass downtown, we're gonna lock him up. You know how that shit go.
Well, Barrett showed them that's all he had to do.
Okay. So, like I say, man, if y'all feel any kind of way about where we're at, if you have some groundbreaking idea, please share it with us. I'd like to share it. I'd like to support your initiative. But I just think if you're gonna come around me and all you want to tell me about is what white people done, I've read enough books. I am fully aware of what white people have done and are still doing in this country. Chantel Gwen said, let's go before it gets hot outside. High speed chases in the city are a few times a week. Man, it's so much going on in this city all day, every day. It don't stop. The shit don't stop. You think it's raining, it's cool. No, it's snow. They found a body in the snow. It don't stop in this motherfucker. Right? Yeah. So I just feel like right now, if you ain't got answers, I don't really want to, if you don't got even some ideas, I ain't gonna say answers because I might not agree with what you said, but at least have an idea about what needs to happen in our community. Now I hear some people say, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I'm gonna move. I say this to that. Did we not learn anything from the Great Migration? If anybody historically is aware of what the Great Migration was, it was when Black people got tired of what was going on in the South and fled to the North, only to get up here and realize that it was the same shit. It was just a different toilet. They was just doing it differently, right? And we can say, well, we got out of that, but look what happened. Look at what happened to our community from the time we got here to right now. It's been nothing but just an erosion, right? So I'm saying that to say, now you take the state of Mississippi, where my family is from. So many hundreds of thousands of people left Mississippi and the surrounding area to come north. Right now, it's the poorest state in the union, and they have the lowest value on education in the union. And you know who coincidentally owns a whole hell of a lot of land in Mississippi still?
Who?
Black people that are up north, that our great grandfathers and
Thought you
grandmothers.
was gonna say Brett Favre.
Look, I definitely thought he was gonna say somebody white. I was waiting on it. I'm like, Tom Barrett. Oh shit.
How many of y'all out there sitting on some land your great grandparents left you? There's land in my family that goes back generations, hundreds of acres. Am I going back to Mississippi? No, I'm not.
I haven't been there in a minute. That shit used to be cool, man. Be a whole forest in the backyard. That shit was a real deal.
When you was a little kid, until you realize everything down here bite, I'm not coming back. Ants, flies, goddamn gnats, red bugs, ticks. Let me get back to Milwaukee and just duck. Yeah. But so where we going? Y'all tell me where we going, because I hear people say, well, I moved out of Milwaukee, Kevin. There's more opportunity where I'm at. Black people can thrive here where I moved to. I hear people say that.
It's better black folk. It seemed like the black folk in the South, their attitudes, even the young hood niggas, excuse me, ma'am. Like me, ma'am. Like it's just their attitudes. That Southern hospitality. Because up here it's just how much anger and motherfuckers is mad. What the fuck you want? Like, damn, bitch, I just said where the lash is at.
That's a myth. Shout out to Dre Day. He said move and go where? I agree with you, Dre Day. But listen, the South is a murderous place. Memphis, Atlanta,
I ain't never been to
Florida,
Memphis, but Atlanta, I
Miami.
have the best in the Atlanta. They treat me so well every
Yeah,
time.
I bet you Atlanta cats get they shit pushed back. Well,
They
pause.
do.
They get
They do
shot. They
indeed.
get murdered. I don't want to use no kind of references about nothing getting pushed back when I'm talking about Atlanta, as we already know.
They definitely get murdered.
Right.
But the thing is, Kev, like I say to people when I travel, it's usually a week. And the shit that I see here numerous times a day, I don't see when I be in other places. You know what I'm saying? We see this shit numerous times a day, and that shit is not normal at all. Cars flipped over, niggas swerving and swinging, and I'll be somewhere else for a week. And if I do see it, it's like once, but usually I don't see the shit at all that I see here numerous times a day, every day, numerous times. Because you see that shit numerous times, not just once a day, numerous. You be like, dog, what the fuck?
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like when you black, you just trading one problem for another one because you're gonna go somewhere and say they ain't got stolies here, like but they got crystal meth labs blowing up. They got white supremacists running through your shit. You got whatever because there's some crime going on everywhere. There's a thing in every black community. Maybe it ain't stolies, and if that's what it is for you, that just was the last straw, and you go, then go. I get it, but if you don't.
I've lived in all areas. I lived in Decatur. I lived out in Fayetteville. I lived in Riverdale, Southside, the realest. I like Riverdale. The Riverdale actually is just like Milwaukee a little bit. It gives you Milwaukee vibes on the South Side. And I've lived in Atlanta, so I've been all around, and I've lived in these areas, not just kicked it. I've lived.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
He said, "Yo, do you be in?"
Oh, and when I travel too, I usually get 2 cribs to stay in. So I usually maybe downtown for like 2 days, but I also get a crib in the inner city so I can see what the fuck they doing. So I can be like a local and walk around the hood and shit.
Chantel Gwen said we made national news for some stupid stuff. Once again, I kind of feel like some people feel like this is a badge of honor, right? I think they like to go to other places and say I'm from Milwaukee, and people say, "Man, I heard it's fucked up there." And they be like, "Yeah, yeah, that's where I'm from, though." I guess it makes it look like they tough or something, right?
I agree. When I was like 19, 20, and I would say I was from Milwaukee, and they'd be like, "What y'all got cows and cheese there?" I would go straight to YouTube and pull up the hood DVD. Like, nigga, what you? That's Milwaukee. Fuck you, man. I would go that. So yeah, that is yes, we would.
It's cows in Compton. A lot of people don't know that. Horses and cows in Compton, California. You don't hear nobody talking about that shit.
Right.
But anyways, but no, I'm saying I want black people here to understand. Yeah, you can leave. Of course. That's why it's 50 states in America. You're pretty much free to do whatever you want to do. But I feel like all we've ever been doing is running as black people, as a race. I feel like every time some shit get bad, well, we got to go. We're going to go on up north, or we're going to head out west, or we're going to go east. Now, all of those places are shitty destinations for us. I am not saying you can improve your quality of life if you go somewhere and you find an opportunity and you jump on it and you go there and it's all good.
Where the Indians at? I mean, the Native Americans.
Where are they at?
Because we need to link up and all become a unit. Where the fuck they at? You
barely have solidarity. Them. They have solidarity. They ain't fucking with us.
I was just saying they ain't fucking with us because we probably fuck they shit up.
Well, we do fuck with them because we go down to Potawatomi and spend our money with them. That's when we go down. That's the only time you even see them hobnobbing with us. Like, what's happening, homie? Shoot that slot. I got you, bro. They don't even fuck with us. They don't even. You don't never see no Native American even driving through the hood.
I don't know when I see him.
When the last time you seen that shit?
I don't know, but that's why I said where they at because I don't.
Living on the areas that they develop with the money that they got for their casinos, which is basically reparations. But we still saying we ain't gonna never get that. Vincent Tony said, "My daughter and other children who leave and go to college. What about them? I'll be missing parts of the conversation, y'all."
Yeah, me too.
She said they getting federal dollars. Yeah. I don't know, Vince. What about your daughter? Hit me up. Now let me know what y'all think, man. We talk a lot of shit, but we would love for people to be involved in the conversation. Said they don't return. People don't. And to be honest with you, I wasn't intending on coming back when I left. I came back because my father passed. So I came back because my mom said, "Look, I need some help. I need for you to come home and help me. You do what you're gonna do, but I need some help." So I was, "Hey, it's all good, Mom. I'm there." And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did because I got to spend what basically turned out to be the last 7 years of my mom's life. So if I'd have said, no, mom, I got to chase my dreams and I'm going to Atlanta, I might not have been here for that. So I'm glad I came back. Now, what I'm saying is I'm tired of running. I want to put my flag down and fight. I want my people to put their flag down and say, we ain't going no motherfucking where. Y'all gonna do this shit right. Chevy, you on that bullshit. We're gonna vote you out. Police captain, police chief Norman, y'all on some bullshit. We're gonna vote your ass out too. Fire and police commission, y'all on some bullshit. We're gonna vote. I want us to start showing these leaders in this city we are done with them and their complicitness with this dysfunction by saying we ain't voting for you. Not that we ain't gonna come. No, I just ain't gonna vote. I ain't saying that because that means the voter turnout is low. I'm saying let's tell them we're not gonna vote for you. We ain't gonna vote for you. It ain't that I ain't voting. I'm just not voting for you. Because the reality is, if you've been in charge, if you've been a part of this machine for the better part of 12 to 15 years, it's time for you to go. Right? The shit ain't got no better under your watch. Matter of fact, it's getting worse. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to be voted out. I know some of the leaders said, but Kevin, you're not doing enough. I don't want you as a leader because you can't even polarize people around you to do nothing because your colleagues ain't doing shit either. And what they say, if you watch somebody getting fucked up and you got the power to stop it and you don't stop it, you just as much responsible as the person who's doing it. Right? So your silence is your complicitness, right? So I'm saying it is time for a clean sweep because we need leaders who can stand. Because no alderman even stood up and said, hey, I'm over here in 53206. What is the mayor talking about?
Right.
Can I get some of that curfew? Can you sprinkle some of that in my neighborhood too? I didn't hear none of them even stood up and they don't say shit. So there's no campaign for someone to serve the best interests of the people, man. And it's time out for that. And no more excuses. No more the white man won't let me. The white man won't. He did this. He did that.
We need real campaigns out here. Like I know, and I ain't getting no fuck about voting with Obama because I was able to vote. But as far as knowing about local voting, and local elections, and I think about the timelines of all the ratchet motherfuckers in the city. You know what I'm saying? Me, you, and Kamar's timeline may be somewhat similar, but the super ratchet motherfuckers in the city, they timeline ain't nothing like ours. It's just a whole bunch of ratchet ass, unnecessary bullshit. So they're not even getting anything that's telling them about anything going on in the city. They don't get no fuck. It's not even on their radar. In my 20s, that shit. Anything political definitely wasn't on my radar. I didn't care. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what the fuck Scott Walker was doing. Now, in my 30s, I realized what the fuck he was doing and what he did. So we have to create a way to make sure we get this type of information to everybody to understand why they need to vote. And hey, man, look, you finna lose your food stamps. Wait, hold the fuck on. Like, yeah, they finna cut all that shit off. You got to come vote now. Now, I don't know if we can lie to them like that, but that's basically what we got to do. Look, they finna cut up your W-2. Gone. Like, what? They cutting my W-2? All of that.
And I want to say this, too, because if you're just tuning in, I don't want you to think this is just another show where we complaining about black people. We're talking about how bad black people are or how bad it is. I want to say this. By and large, black people are the greatest people in the world to be around. Most black people, okay? Most black people are great people. Loving, caring, compassionate, really spiritually centered. And because that's how they got us with the religious thing, because we are spiritually centered. We always have been, right? And most of us are those kinds of people. There's a small element in our community that operates with a certain kind of perspective and a certain attitude. And they make it their mission to fuck it up for the happy people, for the people that are content, the people that's trying to get through their day. I mean, it takes a special kind of person to say, this motherfucker has worked 12 hours a day for 5 years. He just bought him a car. I'm finna break in his shit. Dude just put new windows up in his house. He probably been saving forever. Or he probably put it on his credit card. He gonna have to work extra hours to pay for getting his house insulated so his babies will be safe. I'm about to bust all them goddamn windows out. Dude done went and got his money up and bought him some jewelry and shit and got his little designer fit on. I'm finna rob that motherfucker.
My motherfucking jewelry now, nigga.
Right. Who wanna buy some jewelry?
Remember they used to open the coat? I was hoping to see that New York. I wanted a nigga to open his coat and have all the watches and shit.
You in Times Square, you know they done been cleaned that up. There ain't none of that down there. Vince said, my son, who's a convicted felon, say, Dad, you're gonna have to visit me. I ain't coming back to that fucked up ass city. He has a nice home in Vegas and an Airbnb in Vegas and Honolulu. That's what's up, man. Yeah. And that, listen, I got my own brother. We were born and raised in the same house, same mama, same daddy. He wouldn't piss on Milwaukee if it was on fire. He cannot stand Milwaukee. He has been trying very hard for years to get out of here. I get people say, I don't like it here. You got the right to go somewhere else, but go somewhere else because you are looking for an opportunity. Go somewhere else because you want to change your life. Don't go nowhere else and be like, I'm leaving because we can't make it in Milwaukee.
It's gloomy every day. You know what I'm saying? Who wants that? That shit like Gotham City. That's another
thing. But you know what though? Hey, but really, is it? I don't think that. I think first off, I don't think there's nothing wrong if you leave to make a better way for yourself.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? But don't leave because you feel like everything is just so fucked up. So I got to leave now. You know what I mean? Because see, you're going to go somewhere else and you're going to find a whole bunch of other problems that's going on. Like maybe person action is at an all-time high wherever you're going. You know, straight up. You know what I mean? Because there's different crimes going on in different places. You know what I mean? Here's the Stoli. You know what I mean? But somewhere else, it could be something else. I mean, there's people getting murdered in other cities more than Milwaukee. You know what I mean? There's worse places. There's definitely worse places to be. Depending on what cities, it could be a fucked up neighborhood you wind up moving to. And you know what I mean? And you don't know that's where you're going. So, yeah, man, if you're moving just for a better place, ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't just be moving just because you feel like you can't, you know what I mean? I can't take it. It's just fucked up here. But it's fucked up everywhere.
I remember.
It's fucked up here. For sure. And just in case y'all forgot, they are snatching guns off your hip. So if you want them people that like to wear your gun on your hip and let it be showing, just know these young little people will come and snatch that shit off you or try to. So remember that. I've heard this from another teenager.
I used to start a lot of trouble a couple years ago. Kamar, and I don't know if you remember when I used to say this all the time, and people used to be mad at me. I used to be like, if you want to leave Milwaukee because you want to find somewhere better to go, then gone. Get the fuck out. And leave it to those of us who want to stay and fight. And so those of us who say, I ain't going nowhere, I want to talk to them people and say, okay, now let's get together and get something done. If you want to leave, bye. Get the fuck out. It is what it is. But the people who are saying, no, I'm staying here, I want us to get together so we can improve what's going on here, right? That's not to say if I got a great opportunity somewhere outside of Milwaukee, I'd be gone. I'd leave. I'd say, man, one thing about me though is I would always, no matter what level of success I had, I would still have something going on here because this is where I'm from. I would still, if it wasn't just but one person who I knew was doing something positive in the community, I'd donate to that person. I'd still contact people. I'm not going to move off and say, I ain't never going back there. Because just me coming back, if I went somewhere and bettered myself, might be an example or inspiration for somebody who's here now to say, man, you know what? Shit, Kev, I can do it too. I'm going to change my life too. Let's see. Vince Tony said, what's the difference between moving to the suburbs, then moving to another city? It ain't no difference. There is no difference. It ain't no, moving is moving. Moving is moving. But one thing about it is if you in the suburbs here, you still going to have to deal with Milwaukee.
Hell yeah.
Have to deal with it. So when you say move to another city, now you out of sight, out of mind. A lot of us move to the suburbs, and this is another thing. That used to be a way to make sure, okay, I'm staying out of the drama now. I'm going to move to the suburbs. But now you start to run into situations where as a black person, you move to these suburbs only to find out that they don't want your black ass out there. So now you're fighting a whole different battle. This is why I say it makes more sense for us to stay where we at and say, no, we demand that this changes, right? People say, I ain't got time for that. That's fine. Well, move, right? Move. If you just say, you know what, Kev, I'm done. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to help nobody. I'm sick of this. Now you can get in a situation in this city where you make it bad for yourself. So if you got issues where you got people after you and they shooting up your house and people, you got all this drama, yeah, I would then say, yeah, you got a family move, man. You should leave.
Well, you shouldn't have been a rat.
Damn.
Whatever you was doing, you fucked up because you got people on your heels. So I would say, yeah, leave. Bottom line is I want to talk to people who are interested in staying here, demanding that things get better. So let's make this a destination for people, black people who looking for somewhere better to go. Let's take what we need to take back in this city and make it so people can look and say, them niggas got their shit together. It was fucked up there, but they got it together now. They handling their business. That's not gonna happen if all of us is saying I'm leaving in a couple years. So it ain't gonna be. So we gonna basically give them what they want. Ain't gonna be no more black people here. Let's just all go. Let's just all leave. Now where we going? Because I guarantee you, wherever we go in mass, we're gonna bring some of them same problems with us.
Africa, because Candace Owens said if we all wanted to go back, she'd pay for it. I remember that.
And
remember.
If half the black people on the north side move to Africa, it's gonna be stolies in Botswana.
It's all right.
It's gonna be motherfuckers flying through the village like a sumbitch in buckets. We're gonna take the shit with us. You gonna pack it up and move it instead of addressing it. Right? If you got gonorrhea in Milwaukee and you don't get no shot, you're gonna have gonorrhea in Chicago. You just took it across the state lines. I would suggest you got rid of your gonorrhea first. I'm trying to use that as a metaphor. I do realize
I see you are. I see.
It was one of the most gross metaphors I've ever
used. You try to clean it up.
You try to, because over there they're gonna fuck around, chop their hand off or some shit. Oh, you want to steal from us here? You want to steal from us? They want to chop their motherfucking
and that's why I took off on the village police, because I knew they was gonna chop my hand off. I went for mine. Right? That's what we gonna say.
The difference is they faster over there. They been running. Fuck you mean? You ain't getting away.
They ain't that fast. They ain't gonna catch no goddamn V8. I'm taking my goddamn box Chevy with me. I'm be driving around Zimbabwe beating with some duels on my shit.
See the other Stoley boys, they ain't gonna be able to do. I think, yeah, we should all just go ahead and go to Africa. We should all just hit up Candace. It's about that time, Candy. We ready to go.
Yeah, okay. Listen, dysfunction on the road is just traveling dysfunction, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, once again, I feel like a certain amount of us are not going to leave. Those of us who are going to stay here, that have established, no, I've already put my roots down here. This is where I'm from. This is my home base. Then we need to be working to demand that things get better. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying if you want to leave, go ahead. Because like I said, it's 50 states, man. Go out and explore the world. YOLO. Ain't that what I said earlier? YOLO.
Right. So you mean this is really for people that didn't purchase the house or some shit? Because you got a house and shit, Kev. So it's people like that, y'all stuck. You got homes and lives.
You ain't, because you can sell it. You could sell it. You could sell it. You could do
ain't nothing stuck. You feel like doing that? Or is that a lot? Listen, packing up, moving.
But if you don't like it, then if you're saying I'm gonna leave, if I want to be out of here, then sell your house. Don't let the house be the reason you live in misery. But there are people who have bought a house and they say, I like my house. I worked hard for this home and I pay my mortgage. I mind my business and I'm staying here. I ain't moving.
Yeah.
So those people need to get together to say, well, now we need to get together and demand that they do better. We need to collectively say to this mayor, that was some bullshit.
Some of them people, I done seen some incidences where them people get together and have conversations, and then they be leaving the building, and then one of them gets shot by teenagers shooting and die.
Yeah. A bunch of people just went to the grocery store in Buffalo and died.
Yeah, it be so.
That supremacy showed up, right? I that's another thing. We might need.
And I heard you seen they said it has something to do with here.
I didn't see that yet.
They said that on the on his gun, on his rifle, that he had 3 women's names written on it that were ran down in Waukesha by the black dude.
Oh, okay. I can see that. I can see him as a white supremacist having that for a part of his cause. They're monkeys. Look at what they do. Look what they did at the Fiserv Center. Somebody need to show them that video of them 2 white dudes wrestling. I don't know.
No, at Waukesha. Remember the one black dude ran down that parade?
I know what you're talking about. I know. I'm saying I can see that as part of the reason why he says, "Oh, it was a black dude who did that in Waukesha."
That's why I'm doing this. Yeah.
For the victims, right? For my homies who ain't here.
I saw the white dudes fighting. They was
Vince said, "Kev, I'm 10 toes down with you staying here for the real fight. But these grant taking poverty pimps and house niggas in Milwaukee, something else. They blockers. They are. They are. And I'm not saying that this fight ain't a real one. This is a real one right here. This is a real fight. It's gonna take some real hard core shit for us to buck this system. Because we got so much to take back. First of all, we got to get our communities back. Right now, we can't even talk to each other. We can't even relate to each other because we don't feel safe. We don't feel like trust ain't something that we're going to give up freely to each other. Like, I'm suspicious of them. Listen, I'm aware of the danger that this community presents, but that danger is in Chicago. It's in LA. It's in Miami. It's in Atlanta. It's in Houston. It's in Dallas. It's in New York. It's in Pittsburgh. It's in Cleveland. It's the same shit everywhere. So I have to relocate to some lily white community because they don't have dysfunction in their community aside from the mass shooter who want to go and shoot up a store full of black people. Yeah, that's my neighbor. No, it's it's the same shit. That's what I'm saying. We have to get to where we're gonna put up a fight for where we at. If this is home, let's act like it's home. Let's treat it like it's home. Let's fight for our home, is what I'm saying. And we can fight this fight if we go about it the right way. But as long as we where we at, pointing the finger at other people, it's somebody else's fault. It's them. They the ones who didn't do this. They the ones who didn't do that. We're not gonna win, and we ain't gonna progress, and we're gonna end up getting gentrified, and we're gonna have deeper problems. You are live on Outlaw Radio. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Cam? Vince here, man.
What's going on, Vince? What's happening with you?
Not much. I'm just going to talk about one thing and the blocking. Just to give you an example. Last year, I went to a fundraiser at a place where brothers gather and smoke cigars and stuff. Well, I met the owner, who's a white guy, and some prominent blacks go to this place. They smoke cigars and drink liquor and watch games and things of that nature. So I met the guy. He invited me back. He invited me, the white guy. We sit there talking. He opens up I guess $100 of port wine, and we having good conversation. He tells me how much it's going to be per year to be a member, how much the lockers and how everything works. And a week later, I can't even get a return phone call from this dude at all. I called him several times, and I mean, I'm like almost buddies. I mean, he's gonna open up he said $100 bottle of port. I was in, but all of a sudden, I got cut off. I got blocked completely, and that's not the first time. I think even with Reggie Moore, before he got promoted I don't know how he got promoted to a position at Milwaukee Medical College, but when that brother first got into office, I called him and congratulated him. And I said, the blueprint for peace that you guys put together, if you guys implement that, Milwaukee is going to be one of the best cities in the country. Well, that brother, that was back in 2016. He has never returned a phone call of mine. Now, 414 Life, who is an extension of that organization, one of his
Uh-oh.
Do anybody hear anything, or just Kev hear something?
Pardon me?
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Can you guys hear me? You lost me.
Yeah, we blanked you out for a second, Vince. Go back. You was talking about Hamed. Rest in peace to Hamed. You was talking about Hamed.
Well, Hamed was a good friend of mine, and he got blocked from talking to me. A year later, after he had stopped talking to me, he finally contacted me. He said, Vince, forgive me. I was in prison for 20 some odd years. I got out of prison, got involved in this. I didn't know what I was doing. Please forgive me. So that's what I mean, the level of hatred of men of each other in this city, where they blocked this brother. And Hamid, rest in peace. We didn't get a chance to get back together and talk face to face before he passed away from sleep apnea. But that's a brother that I love, and he was 10 toes down. But in order to talk, if he couldn't talk to me, they wouldn't allow him to talk to me. And I know that, and he and I know that. So these are the kind of brothers that we have in this city. They don't want progress. They want stagnation. and they want to go up in there and get that money, and that's it. They don't care about our kids, don't care about our mothers, they don't care about our families. They act like they do, but what has been done since they created this organization that has made change? Well, they'll come out and they'll say, well, we've done some things, but we can't talk to you about. No, we need to see proof that you've done something and what kind of programs you implemented that's changing the level of crime, chaos, and confusion in the city. They're not doing it, but they every time you see the mayor, that's why that I knew there was going to be any change, because every time I seen a Cavalier on TV, the same people that stood behind Barrett are standing by him. So it's the same shit, just a different day. That's all. So this city has really had some serious problems, and if men can't be men and grow some and start talking to each other and telling the truth behind closed doors and being able to live with it, because there's stuff going on in this city. You know, when I grew up here, men could talk. It really didn't matter. They took care of business. And I wouldn't be the man that I am if it wasn't for the men that were in my neighborhood. My mother, a single parent, she couldn't take care of me by herself. If it wasn't for the men in my community, I wouldn't be the way I am, because these boys need men, and we don't have a lot of them in the community that's willing to go 10 toes down with real men like myself. So I'll let you go on that one.
All right, Vince, we sure enough appreciate. Hey, I told you, if you want to come on and talk about that bill, we just gotta just hit me up after the show. We'll put something together, get you a date so you can come on.
Okay, Bob.
All right. Yep. So okay, I guess this is a good way to kind of go into the end of the show, because what's the point of all this? What I'm saying is, men, black men, it's on us, right? I'm saying if we gonna do it, it's the woman's fault. Okay, so maybe she messed up. We got to come back in and straighten it out. If that's what you believe, it's on us. It's on us as men to take our communities back. It's on us to get more informed about what's going on and inform the people around us. It's on us to set the trends. It's on us to say, okay, we are about to go down a pathway in which we are looking for positivity and progress. All of us united. It ain't going to be no more unsolicited banging on no solitary outlaws or otherwise. It's not going to be cool for you to hate on the next man. We're going to promote unity and solidarity in our community. That's going to be the only conversation we're having as black men. It's time for us to stand together, bruh. Those of us who are blockers, who are gatekeepers, who are downtown holding positions, it's time for you to stop being a company man. It's time for you to start opening up the gates to say, man, I got to let some of my people in here. And I'll tell you, all you elected officials who keep telling me you're not just ours. I'm not just the black community's mayor. I'm not just the black community's alderman or senator or congressman. You are, because you black. So that means you're part of us, right? That means you owe us something because of your affiliation with us. And owe is a strong word. But yeah, you owe us something because we voted for you. And we are the consumers who pay the taxes that contribute to your salary. So yes, you do owe us something, right? Black men, the accountability is falling on us. Sisters, if you want to come in and support the movement, we accept you wholeheartedly. But men have to take the lead on this. And we're going to keep saying a woman can't raise a man. And we need to start helping our women raise the men. How long we going to keep saying that, but we ain't helping them? Oh, it's their fault because they don't know how to raise men. Now, sister, if you out there, you got a good father who wants to be a part of his kid's life, but you're mad about whatever relationship woes y'all had or whatever he did to you, stop it. If you're in a situation where a dad wants to spend time with his kids, but you feel like you got more going on than him, so you can point the kid in the right direction, stop it. It takes both of us. It takes two. People say, what do it take to raise a kid? It take a woman and a man together, because it take a woman and a man to make them, right? Not a man and a man, not a woman and a woman, even though I got two daddies. What? I got two mommies, huh? At the end of the day, you have a mother and a father, right? Like that is what you have. And so we got to be mothers and we have to be fathers in our community. We have to demand that the mayor does what he's supposed to do and let him know, bro, we're going to remember this shit in 2 years. You only got 2 years. All this fake ass, weak ass shit that you doing, all this lack of planning, all this cronyism, we're going to remember this when it's time for us to go to the ballot. We need to let him know that as black men. And we need to let every other politician know we're going to go against you. We're going to go against you. We're going to make sure you don't get no progress, no status, no nothing until the right thing is done by us. The weekend is coming up, Kamar. What you got moving? I know it's finna be garden season, man. What's going on?
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. Speaking of the garden, my garden's coming along great over here, man. I done got plants going in the dirt, man. I got a nursery going down where I got seedlings coming up. Some older plant, a couple weeks older than the seedlings, and I got it going down over here, man.
You got some collard greens or something up in there?
Oh yeah, I got collard greens. I got some cabbage, man. I got peppers. I got peas. I got some what else? I got some Brussels sprouts, man. I got potatoes out there. Man, I'm having a ball.
Man.
I'm going down. Yes.
I'm coming through there with my Aldi's bag.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's definitely going down in a few months.
Okay.
And listen, I know my wife and I had a garden years back at where we used to live, and you talking about some very, very delicious vegetables. Like them greens was green greens, like they was delicious. Yeah. Man, all the things the peppers. I always talk about. I grew peppers. I grew habaneros, and I had been eating them from the store. And this ain't shit. Them habaneros at my garden was so hot I couldn't even hardly stomach. I was like, oh Lord, let me take this taco.
You better not wipe your lip. Straight up.
So what events you got coming, man? What you got up for the week?
This weekend, I'm free this weekend. I might just pull up to the Phoenix, man, and hang out up there this Saturday, pop my table up.
Okay.
I might just do that, but I'm free this weekend, man. I actually got a lot of stuff to do, so I don't know, man. Ain't nothing up this weekend, but next week is when everything the balls finna start rolling.
Okay.
Soon I'll be doing like 3 pop-ups a week.
Okay.
Courtney, you said you got a big order. You in motion with the juice and whatnot. What you got coming up?
So far I just have the Milwaukee Makers Market July 17th. So I'm still working, finding out how to be a vendor at the Black Arts Festival, see how I could be a part of Juneteenth, applying for these different things, seeing what I can be a part of. So far just Milwaukee's.
I may be able to get you down there at the Fondy Mall too.
Oh yeah, I got somebody's business card. She had some of my juice, so she was like, "Yeah, and we could take EBT for it." I'm like, "Nigga, what?" So that's what we trying to get to. Because
I'm gonna connect you to the lady who managed me.
Her name was Beatrice.
Yep, Beatrice. Yep.
Yep, she takes some.
She got the art studio. She's doing an art class at the vocational center.
Yeah, and I just realized we friends on my other page, so I'm definitely gonna hit her up and talk some business tomorrow. But
she actually sits next to me when I vend down at the garden too.
Okay.
So what I mean? We chop it up a lot.
So
you catch her down, and you catch her at the Coogee Chocolate Co-op at the Sherman Phoenix. You may catch her down there too working.
Oh, and then I may be at some of those blackout Saturdays. Blackout Saturdays or Saturday, right? I'm probably signing up for some of those. I haven't signed up yet. Check my calendar, but I'm gonna do all of that, Kev. And like I said, with the EBT, that's the thing, because when niggas are able to use EBT, you buy everything. Like it's this juice I get at Whole Foods. That shit like $2 for $8. With the EBT, hell yeah, I'm gonna buy it. With cash, not so much. Where you got some stamps, you're gonna get some extra shit. So that's why I want my juice to be EBT acceptable, because niggas gonna buy it then.
Like, I'm trying to get it, I'm trying to get it to the point where I could take EBT.
Man, look, that's gonna change the game. What?
So
game changer, Kev.
Chantel Gwen said they'll have a blood drive on May 21st at the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center, hosted by Versity Blood Center. I think I said that right. Versity. I don't know. I'm remedial tonight. Thank y'all for all the support. Outlaw Radio, no doubt. I wanted to know because we do have brother Jamu Butler coming up before Heal the Hood, because Heal the Hood is coming. Kamar, we still. I think we probably need to reach out to him and see if we can get the sister set up somehow, if there's room where she could do like some swabs or whatever and look for donors. So we need to make that connection. And it's all about connecting, man. She said that blood drive will be from this Saturday.
When is he coming on?
He is, I believe because he booked 2 shows in the beginning. So he came on one. And I want to say, goddamn, you know what? Let me find out, because I can pull it up while we're on the air. Because we have a group, him and you and I we started a group when he wanted to come on the show. So I'm gonna give you the exact dates that he's coming on. But I'd like to tell. I don't want to bombard. I don't want to kind of surprise him. I want to tell him before that this sister is looking for possibly an opportunity to come down there and see if he has room. I don't know if he has room, but I want to see if he does. So let me.
It's worth a try. It's definitely worth a try.
Yeah, let me pull him up. Y'all can talk about anything y'all want to. This might take me. I can't walk and chew gum at the same.
Oh gosh, Kim. Oh, but then I want to mention that I did just graduate from the Biz Starts Institute. That's where I did my first catering for my juices. But they're about to open a store in Walker's Point. I think I said that Monday. And when it opens, my items will be featured in there. I did create this new lemonade, this cucumber mint lemonade. You know what I'm saying? That's popping right now. So yeah, I was trying to work, with the juices. I was trying to create things that last a little bit longer until I get some high tech shit. I need something that's going to last longer than just that little 4 to 5 days that the juice lasts. So yeah, creating and working on some other stuff, some stuff that can last a little bit longer and with these other products. So I'm excited stepping into this year of actually, I just started vending last year. So now creating more things and, yeah, this shit is exciting. I'm excited. Did I tell you I'm going back to school?
You did.
We just gonna run up some more motherfucking money. Yes, we are. We might own, I don't know, but we're gonna get some degrees. So look, I wanted to do psychology when I was young, right? But then I was like, man, they don't make enough money. So then I started doing business, but then I was pregnant and I was tired. So I went because I wanted to go back to psychology now. It's like I want to take this wellness thing with Alkies into therapy. I want to become a therapist as well. So I looked and I had some credits. I'm very close to having my associates in business, but I was about to go to Mount Mary, but it's like, how about we just get this associates done and then go get that bachelor's from Mount Mary?
I am always I'm always somebody who celebrates education. But I do want to say, Vince said, he said, Kevin, Kamar, and young lady, I'd like to present a movement for your opinions privately first. That's cool, Vince. Just reach out. Kamar, I have a Jamu booked for May 25th. So, but like I said, I'd like to reach out to him before then because I know he said he's full. His vendors are full, but this is not really like a vendor. Mm-hmm. If there was just some space that the sister could use where people could kind of walk up and get information about what they're doing and possibly even bring the blood center out with her, like have them send some literature or some representatives out and just a table. Like, so we'll see. I just have to reach out to him. So I can send him a text in our little group chat. So we can try to help her out because she's talking about young Black children who suffer from aplastic anemia and sickle cell and all these kinds of genetic diseases that kids are born with. Like I said, man, Black men, we got to take the lead, man. We got to start extending our hand a little bit more. I get the silo. I understand. I understand why you be like, I ain't fucking with them over there. And because I'm telling y'all the truth, Kamara's gotten on me about that over the years so much. Like, Kev, can't be like that. Because he'd be like, why don't I be like, fuck them? I don't fuck with them. Kamara be like, come on, Kev, you can't be like that. I was like, fuck them. Fuck them. Kamara like, God, come on, Kev. So I had to even grow a little bit because we've had people on my show who I said would never be on here. I said I'd never talk to that motherfucker. But after Kamara get done talking to me, I'll be like, I guess we gonna bring the motherfucker home. Right? Right? Interview this motherfucker, right?
Hey, I'll be like, Kev, look, man, we the media, man. It don't matter who we got on the show.
Kamar. Yeah.
They'll be like, fuck that. No.
Like, man, it's gonna be a whole bunch of times you're gonna have people you don't agree with on the show.
Yeah, man. Very true.
And that's what it's about, putting your personal shit aside and let's like really intentional solidarity. And like, I'm still moving. I want to move on my One Nation. I want to move on my One Nation concept. I want to move on it, but I want to have the right brothers at the table. So I'm just kind of waiting and seeing how things set up, getting a little stronger by the day. And we're going to put that together. I still believe entirely, man, that if you ain't part of the problem, you're part of the solution. I think we have to understand that. And the one main thing you have to understand is it's a such thing as armchair quarterbacking. Monday morning quarterback. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Shoulda, woulda. Coulda, did. If my auntie had balls, she would have been my uncle. Right? So I'm just saying the time is now. Or you could leave. And if you are interested in leaving, pack your shit up and get out the way. Because there's some people who want to make shit happen up here. And all you naysayers is bringing me down. They fucking off my energy, as Kamara would say. Right? I'm feeling a lot of heat coming from the end of that couch. you absolutely positively have to understand that if your criticism is greater than your contribution, your ass is entirely a coon. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night. I'm going to have my sister Jazzy on here. We're going to talk a lot of black stuff tomorrow night. It's going to be just as positive and just as uplifting, man. Peace and love, Capital Drive and Access. Stand up. 414, stand up, man.